Hi, welcome to episode 2 of the Unbox series. Today we'll be talking about marriage pressures. Let's see what's in our box.
Okay. All right, so the question here is, looking back, what did you think you needed before marriage that you actually didn't? Wow, interesting. Okay, so to answer that, I would say what I thought I needed before marriage was to know to have the basic skill of cooking different dishes, especially our Nigerian dishes. But having been married for 4 years now, I actually believe I didn't need to have thought about that. So because I come from a different background with my husband, and most of the dishes I would have put in so much effort to learn might not actually be what he loves to eat. So I don't know, can I get your thoughts on that?
No, I agree. You know, when you're about to get married, especially as a woman, it's always like you have to learn how to cook all the soups. And I came from such a different background. My dad didn't like soup, so I was scared. I was just like, me that I don't grow up with soup. How will I, just for me to marry after learning a few, and TikTok generation, if we were through TikTok and learning all the soups. And then my husband was just like, he doesn't really like us. He just likes to go see soup. I was just like, that's the soup I know how to cook. Wow. That's the soup I know how to cook. So why are they stressing me? So that's how I felt.
Okay, so can we get feedback from our male colleague? Do you have anything?
I think for me, what really was scary was you needed to attain some level of or a height in your finances, and if you don't get that, you can't really start this journey.
Exactly.
But I think if understanding was your priority in the person you pick, you can go through it better. And I'm having a good time, by the way. And also the blessing of finances also showed up in the cost of taking the step. So that's it for me.
Okay. Well, I think James has said most of it what I want to say. Thinking you have to have all the money. Then you also have to have all the patience to. You have to have all the patience to. Well, like if you marry an understanding person, that solves a lot of all that. That doesn't mean that money is bad though. Money is not a bad thing. You need money. You need money, but you don't need all the money. You can never have all the money, but you could start where you are. Yeah.
All right. So if you next.
I saw this coming.
Yes.
All right. Can you marry? Wow. Can you marry someone your parents do not approve of? So do I have to answer this, or I can direct? Can you marry someone your parents do not approve of?
To be honest, my parents didn't fully approve during my time. But I was my parents, my dad. Why I knew why. I think it was a little bit of fear. It was just like, are you sure you're ready? Are you sure he's ready? Yeah. But I think I understood. I think it really depends on the approval. If it's now, if it was going to be like something like, he's from Rivers, I'd probably be like, that's why. But maybe if it was like, he's not a Christian, I think that's different. I don't know. So it depends on what my parents do not approve of. I understood what my dad wasn't approving of. I had to explain and help him understand. Then he approved.
So communication helps.
Yes, communication helps.
That's letting them understand.
Yes.
Why? Okay. Can you?
I cannot.
Yeah.
I just cannot, because I think I just have my mom for now. So it's not that I'm trying to please her to say, but that part where it's for life. In fact, before she leaves this earth, she has to be with the same person. So it matters a lot. So I think with what man is saying, you have to put them through what is expected. Already from our faith, that one is no-brainer. The person has to be in the same faith. You can't even try that.
Yes.
So I think for me, no. But it's also my responsibility to put my spouse through what is required so that the approval can also come through.
Wisdom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jima, what do you think?
Okay, so my thoughts on this is we have all made mention of communication because it's important for you to find out why your parents are disapproving of your partner. So when you find out, you can, if you're actually convinced that this is the person you want to marry, you can do a lot of talking with them, try to negotiate with them and bring them to see reasons why you actually made your choice. Yes. Because I remember growing up, my mom then, she always made mention that we should not marry from a particular tribe. Like she spelled it out to all of us while growing up. So when I went to school and then I had this friend, I didn't even know where he was from because I just developed friendship with the person. But so then when I finally got to know where he was from, I remembered what my parents said. So I tried to cut off the communication. But then I also, after a while, I still like, this person didn't do anything to me. So why am I trying to, because of the bias I had growing up? So eventually I just had to continue the friendship. And funny enough, my parents actually became very close to the person, also not knowing where he was from. So when at the point where my parents eventually got to know where he was from, there was this time I told my mom I wanted to have a conversation with her, and then she also knew where it was going to. So she told me that if it's because of where this person is from, that she has grown past that because this person, she has met him and she has gotten to know him. So most times it depends on your communication. So
parents are just playing stubborn.
okay, so if your parents are playing stubborn and you know that, okay, let me answer for myself now. If my parents are playing stubborn and I know that their reasons are not valid, I will marry the person. If I've tried to persuade them and they are not listening, I will marry the person.
I think you pray. I have a friend that,
yes.
I think I have friends who are just like, no, and he was a Catholic and we all understood why. They were like, no, you can't marry. But she prayed about it. She was like, I remember she came and told us that God said this is my husband and this is my husband. It did not take a long time for our parents are just like, you know what? All right. And now what they were even against, they've left that place. Like they've left it. So I don't know. So you pray about it. I just think you pray about it. If truly that's your husband, God will make a way. There's nothing God cannot do.
Thanks.
All right. I'll go first. James, you're last. Okay. What's the worst marriage advice you've ever received? Oh, I've received plenty. I've actually received plenty because no, it is. To be honest, it always goes down to finance. Like, you make sure your husband is so rich. You cannot marry somebody that cannot carry you outside this country. I'm just like, I've seen some of these men that can carry their wives outside the country. They're carrying other women outside the country as well. I'm going to marry somebody who loves God. You know, it's always like, oh, no, you have to marry someone. I'm just like, I remember even as I was dating my husband, they were just like, you have to. I'm just like, no, this is someone that loves God. And that's who I'm going to marry. Because I've heard... That's just one of them. I remember the advice clearly. And I was like, no, I'm not going to listen to what people have to say. I know what I've prayed for, and God has led me here. What's most of this?
I think mine, someone once said that you shouldn't trust your wife with all your heart because she might have her own will and probably want to. But I'm like, it's a journey of faith. Then why not really trust God in them and not them as a person? Because if God said this is the person, then you should trust the same God in them. And it has saved me. I try to close my ears to some things too. I try not to bother over some things because I've allowed God that started it to complete it. So that's just it. I think that trust from me. I don't have trust issues. I'm not insecure. I can't be. So that's it for me.
So there was the worst marriage advice.
The worst marriage advice. I don't know. That I should not marry my wife. Yes, that was the worst marriage advice. And they were looking at it from the point of they saw some things in her background. And so I have a principle, personal principle. When I hear about God tell me something, It doesn't matter who is telling me anything. I stay with God. I believe that you are not as wise as God. God has seen farther than you have seen. Yeah. And like I said, and like even what we're sharing, communication is important, but I try not to convince people about why I should marry my wife, because I don't owe them that. The only people I owed, in a way, were my mentors too, but they were godly people too. They knew that I was not coming from a canal as so that was the most important part. Then of course my parents are godly people, people around me, but yeah, I was told not to marry my wife. They gave me facts, and I told them thank you. I wasn't rude to them. I told them thank you, but I think I will stick with God. Today, these are the same people that some of them are celebrating, celebrating it. So yes, I think that was for me. That was marriage advice. And by the way, we keep on working every day. That is the thing about marriage. We keep on getting better every day. Yes.
All right, let's go to our last question. Yeah, for what?
My goodness.
Finally.
Well, I married because I was ready, versus I married because I thought I found the right person.
This is a debate.
Wow.
Is anybody 100% ready?
I don't think it's about being ready for me. I think I'm in the clique of I found the right person.
Yes.
In fact, I literally have been in my relationship for 6 years before we got married.
Wow.
And
That's long.
Wow.
yes, and part of the things that made so the right person for me was in that 6 years I was faithfully committed to that person in that relationship, and I just knew it was the right person. It stirred me up to wait, even at the point where we're distant from. She was in Lagos, I was in Port Harcourt. I was still committed to it because it was the right person. And these past 5 months, I've seen proof that it's still the right person. And I believe it will continue to be the right person. So that's for me, the right person.
Yeah.
Dima, what do you think?
Yeah, you should.
Found the right person.
Yeah.
Yes. So I married because I found the right person. Not necessarily. I really did not think about marriage. I
just comes out.
just married my friend.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah. I married because I found the right person. I wasn't ready. I remember I said, I'm not ready for marriage. And then my husband came, and everyone will tell you the way I switched. It was just like, oh, marriage, I think this is where it's going to. So I married because I found the right person. I did not marry because I was ready.
Does it have to be either or? I'll go with both of it. I found the right person, and I waited to when I knew I was ready. Not 100%. I don't think anybody can be 100%. Somebody just said that now. I think because there are ways, things you have to be ready towards. Finances. I don't want my wife to be hungry. Yes. I want to have a house. I don't want to live in anybody's house. I needed certain things that were supposed to be in place. That when she comes in, we can start to build from there, because marriage is a seed. You sow it and it grows, So I think it's both. For me, I'm sorry, questionnaires, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna go with both. I found the right person, but hold on, let me say something. I think I was getting ready before I even found the right person.
Yes.
And when the two was happening, it clicked. And I think it's better if I'm getting ready before I find the right person. Because when you're ready and you see the person, because if you find the right person and you're not ready, she too may not be ready for it. Then she'll be like, you're wasting my time. Because you see people that are in relationship for 14 years and you're wondering what's going on. The man is not ready. He say, I'm not ready, but he has found
the right person. True.
Thank
you. All right. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
I had
fun too. I had fun
too.
Yes. So if you want to, hear more about this and get answers to your questions, then please come for Wardroom for our new series Unbox. And yes, see you there. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.